Before we head into today's episode, I want to remind you that I am hosting a free live webinar called Build Your Professional Brand Through Public Speaking on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. The link is in the show notes to register. You do not want to miss this. If you want to use speaking as a marketing channel to generate opportunities for your career or business, if you want to grow your influence inside or outside of your organization, if you know you're capable of more visibility but aren't sure where to begin, or if you just want to build credibility as a thought leader with or without leaving your 9 to 5, this is for you. Head to the show notes or go to KimberlyBOnline.com/webinar to register today.
Have you ever looked around the room and thought, why wasn't my name put forward? You've led the projects, delivered the results, done everything right. So why are you being overlooked? Welcome to the Your Next Move podcast, the show for high-performing professionals who want to be seen for their brilliance, speak with influence, and accelerate their path to leadership. I'm your host, Kimberly Brown, international career and leadership expert, keynote speaker, and best-selling author of Next Move, Best Move. If you're ready to turn up the volume and finally get seen, heard, and respected inside and outside of your organization, you're in the right place. Let's head into today's episode.
What if I told you that in 12 weeks, just 84 days, you could go from avoiding public speaking to actively seeking opportunities? Not because you suddenly became this natural, not because the fear disappeared, but because you realized something else, that you can speak in front of people without dying. Welcome back to episode 114 of the Your Next Move podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Brown, and I know what I just said sounds dramatic. We know you're not going to die from public speaking. But here's what I've learned from coaching hundreds of professionals just like you. Most people are not actually afraid of public speaking. They're afraid of what they think will happen while public speaking. They're afraid that they're going to freeze, forget their words, or be judged, or some major catastrophic event that lives in their imagination is going to come true. But once you speak and realize you can survive it, whatever that catastrophic story is, it starts to lose its power. According to research across multiple studies, approximately 75% of people experience some level of public speaking fear. That's 3 out of every 4 people, which means if you're listening to this and thinking, that's me, you are in the overwhelming majority. But here's what most people don't realize. Fear doesn't mean you're not meant to speak. It means you're human. And like any other human skill, from riding a bike to cooking a meal, public speaking is something that you get better at by doing. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly how to overcome your public speaking fear in 12 weeks. And I'm going to show you how to do it by speaking every single day, not just on big stages, but in the everyday moments that are happening around you right now. So let's start by destroying the myth about what's probably holding you back. The idea that some people are just natural speakers and others aren't. So you may be thinking, Kim, I don't think I've got that thing. I don't have the boom cat, the X factor, the whatever it is. And I want to be clear about something that I fundamentally believe. There is no such thing as a natural speaker. What people call natural is actually just practice that you didn't see. It's confidence that they built in private. It's mistakes that were made, sometimes when people were watching and also while they were rehearsing on their own. If you are early in your speaking journey, I want you to know that nerves are normal. I still feel nerves every single time I hit the stage. It doesn't matter if I'm speaking in front of a room of 5 people or thousands of people. I've done it all, and I still get nervous. The secret that nobody tells you is that the speakers you admire also aren't copying someone else. A lot of times when we first start speaking, we try to step into the shoes of someone we know, like, and trust. And that is not what you need to do. You don't need to try to be the next Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Lisa Nichols, Mel Robbins, Brene Brown, or whoever else you admire. You need to be the best most authentic you. And that is who people are actually going to connect to. And that's what makes someone feel like a natural speaker because they are simply being themselves on stage. So, why am I talking about you can do this in 12 weeks? Research shows that 12 weeks is around the sweet spot for building new habits. In a 2009 study published by the British Journal of Health Psychology, they found that it takes an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. And with, some individual variation ranging from 18 to 254 days. And then another update to that study in 2024 said that habit formation typically requires 2 to 5 months, with most people forming habits within the first 2 months of consistent practice. So 12 weeks, 84 days feels pretty sweet to me, right in the middle of that proven window. It's long enough to build real skills and see tangible progress, but it's short enough that you can maintain momentum without losing motivation. And it gives you enough time to prove to yourself over and over that you can speak without dying. Because I know for me, when I get really scared, when I'm really nervous, I swear that I'm just going to drop dead. I just can't. I feel like it is taking over my body. So, what we're really doing here, we are retraining your brain to understand that public speaking is not life threatening, no matter how nervous it makes you. So, here's what I want you to understand next. You also don't need a stage to become a better speaker. You need daily practice in real conversations and real moments. So, if we take it all the way back to 1924, a man named Ralph C. Smedley founded the first Toastmasters Club with a very simple philosophy that people learn to speak by speaking, not by studying it, not by reading about it, by doing it. He named Toastmasters, which is a very well known public speaking organization, because he believed that people should practice giving toasts, those everyday moments at weddings, dinners, celebrations, where speaking is woven into life. And that's exactly what we are going to do. We're going to find speaking opportunities in your everyday life starting today. So I'm going to break this out into 3 phases. I'm just looking at my notes to make sure that I got 3 phases. Yes, 3 phases. So number one, we're going to start where you are in weeks 1 through 4. The first 4 weeks are about one thing: proving to yourself that you can speak and survive. So we're going to start really small. And by small, I mean really, really, really small. I want you to think about what your daily practice could look like. So at work, this could be opening team meetings with a greeting or a quick update, introducing a guest speaker or colleague at an event, raising your hand to ask a question during larger meetings or conferences, or even giving a brief verbal update instead of always relying on written Slack messages. Use your words verbally. In your personal life, this could be welcoming people at a family gathering, giving the toast at a friend's birthday dinner, sharing a story at your book club or community group, or for some folks who are super shy, even ordering for a table at the restaurant. Because, yes, that is also public speaking. In this day and age, some folks only want to order online and pick up the food. What if you called the restaurant to make your order and articulated it? Early in my speaking journey, I attended a professional development event that focused on building confidence in speaking. And they had us do an exercise that really was insightful for me. We had to speak for 3 minutes about something random, if my memory serves me, because honestly, y'all, this was probably 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in that range. I believe we had to pick a card and it had a topic on it. We had to speak about it for 3 minutes. So for me, my card, what I do remember clearly is my card was about vitamins. The point wasn't that I knew everything about vitamins. The point was learning that you can practice speaking about anything. It can be hard to speak when the stakes are high. So when you practice with something light, easy, or even something you're passionate about, you can turn any conversation into a speaking opportunity. You just have to start with what you know and what you need to master. The goal in these first 4 weeks is repetition every single day. Y'all, even if it's just for 30 seconds, even if it's just welcoming people at a meeting where you normally sit down and don't say a word. Every time you speak and survive it, you are building evidence that contradicts your fear of public speaking. So now moving on to phase two, which is weeks 5 through 8. This is all about increasing your visibility. By week 5, something interesting should start to happening. Speaking in these small moments, I hope should start to feel normal. And that's when we're going to increase the stakes slightly. Don't get nervous now. Now you're looking for opportunities that involve more people, more structure, more visibility. So in the office, they could look like volunteering to present a project update to a larger group, leading a fireside chat with a visiting speaker at your office, facilitating a team brainstorm or workshop, or even presenting at a department wide meeting. In your personal life, this could be when you're serving as the maid of honor or best man giving a wedding toast, or speaking at your local community board meeting, or sharing your expertise at a friend's workshop or event, or even recording video content for social media, even if you don't post it yet, just practicing. My early low stakes speaking situations were opening meetings, introducing people at events, raising my hand to ask questions, and then I slowly moved into small conferences and workshops before eventually landing keynotes. The most important part here is that you're seeking out opportunities that are low stakes but still meaningful. You are not trying to give a TED talk. You're trying to build your tolerance for being seen and heard by raising the stakes and raising your credibility slowly but surely in a safe way. You're paying attention to the feedback here as well. And by feedback, I don't necessarily mean what people say, though that matters. I mean the immediate real time feedback that you get from an audience. Speaking is something where you get immediate feedback, which I love. You see the audience nodding along. You see people ask questions. They email, they follow up, they connect on LinkedIn, they take pictures of your slides. This is how you know you're connecting with an audience. And don't worry, I'm going to do a podcast later on virtual speaking, but that those things are definitely the immediate feedback is coming from an in-person perspective. The nods, the questions, the follow-ups, these are proof that you're not just surviving, but you're actually connecting in a way that matters. So next up, we have weeks 9 through 12, the final phase, which is all about owning your voice. The final 4 weeks are about something more powerful than just getting through a presentation. They're about stepping into your authentic speaking voice. This is when you can stop asking questions like, can I do this? And start asking, how do I want to do this? Now you're looking for what are the types of speaking gigs you actually want to master? What are the opportunities that align with where you want to be seen as a subject matter expert? And where are the chances you have to tell your story, share your message, and build your brand? For some folks, maybe that's guest speaking on a podcast in your industry. It could be applying to speak at a conference, even a small one. Some of my first conference presentations were these 15-minute spotlights on a project. It was not a 60-minute workshop or a 90-minute fireside chat. It was 15 minutes. It could be running a workshop or training for your team or your colleagues, creating video content that showcases your expertise, or even pitching yourself as a panelist for an industry event. You don't have to be the only person on the stage. The key here is making sure it is something that is meaningful where you get to own your voice. Don't just practice speaking. I want you to practice the kind of speaking you want to be known for. And if you want to be a keynote speaker, this means to start speaking in groups. If you want to be a thought leader, maybe you need to start sharing your ideas on camera. If you want to lead workshops, it's time to start facilitating or even co-facilitating them. By week 12, you're not just someone who can survive public speaking. You're someone who actually seeks it out because you've proven it 84 times over that you can do it without dying. Week 1, you're probably saying like, I can't believe I have to do this. Week 4, I hope you're saying, all right, I survived. Week 8, maybe, wait, are people actually listening to me? And by week 12, I'm really hoping you're sitting there and looking in the mirror and saying, I just volunteered to speak. Like, who am I? The fear doesn't completely disappear. So let me be really clear about that. Even speakers like myself who command 5-figure speaker fees or 6-figure fees still feel nervous before taking the stage. I still get nervous. And every single time before I say the first word of my speech, I feel like my stomach is being wrung like someone trying to wring water out of a wet t-shirt. But I do it each and every time. But what changes is your relationship with fear. It stops being a stop sign and starts being a signal that you're about to do something that matters. You realize that nervousness doesn't mean you're not ready. It honestly just means that you care. So, I've given you all these steps, and you can absolutely do this on your own to combat your fear of public speaking. You can commit to 12 weeks of daily speaking practice and see incredible results. But here's what I learned from coaching hundreds of professionals: transformation happens faster and goes deeper when you have structured support, expert guidance, and a community cheering you on. And this is one of the many reasons why I created the Visibility Shift, my 12-week program designed to take you from hiding from speaking opportunities to actively building visibility through using your voice. In this program, we cover the exact frameworks I use to prepare for my keynotes, the implementation time, so you're actually practicing, not just learning, private one on one coaching to address your specific fears and challenges and build decks if you need that. We also have a visibility intensive where we're going to come together, where we can work on your presence. You'll have a professional photo shoot. It's an entire participant experience that I am really, really excited about. And best of all, you have a community of other people who are on the exact same journey, who are excited to build their personal brand through public speaking. If you're thinking, I want to do this, but I want support, that's what the Visibility Shift is for. Applications open in early February, and you can join my webinar on February 4th to learn more by going to KimberlyBeOnline.com/webinar. As always, the link is in the show notes. But before I go, here's what I want you to remember. The question isn't, am I a natural speaker? The question is, am I willing to invest 12 weeks in proving to myself that I can speak without dying? Because that's really what this is all about. Not perfection, not being this world-class speaker tomorrow, just the simple, powerful realization that you can use your voice and survive it. Remember, 75% of people experience a fear of public speaking, but less than 1% of people actually commit to overcoming it. And I want you to be in that 1%. Speak today, speak tomorrow, speak for the next 84 days and watch what happens. And if you want structured support for your 12-week speaking journey, applications for the Visibility Shift are opening in early February. The link to learn more is in the show notes. And if you're ready to start practicing today, I invite you to DM me on Instagram at KimberlyBeOnline and tell me, where's the first place that you're going to speak this week? As always, thank you for listening. Until next time.